Welcome back. Before I dive in today, I want to share a win from a student inside of Brave Academy. Her name's Providence, and she shared in the Facebook group just the other day that Brave Academy has helped her learn how to do things that have felt hard without falling apart and without going into full-blown panic. I am so proud of her. She's literally doing things that she has not done in 40 years, things that she was afraid to do, things that felt threatening, that didn't feel safe. And now, more and more every single day, they are. And she's putting in the work, using the tools, and seeing incredible changes. And so just wanted to take a minute and say how proud I am of her. Now, today, I just want to record a quick episode to distinguish between two experiences that everybody has that can get mixed up and they often feed off of each other. Have you ever wondered whether what you're feeling is an insecurity or anxiety? Understanding the difference between these two increases your self-awareness and improves healing. And hearing that, you're like, okay, increases my self-awareness. I always try to guess what you all are thinking. By the way, send me a DM and tell me if I'm on or if I'm way off whenever I say, oh, you're probably thinking. Okay, that aside, increasing your self-awareness may not seem like that big of a deal because if you're like most people that I've spoken with, you probably feel like you are self-aware. And there's something important to notice here. 95% of people believe that they're self-aware, but only 10 to 15% really are. And these numbers come from research done by Tasha Urich. 95% believe that they're self-aware, but only 10 to 15% are. And this is not based on the research. This is my personal experience, but I believe that people seem to be, for the most part, relatively aware of what's happening for them at a behavioral level, how they're showing up in the world. But when we look deeper about why they're having the struggles that they do or how to overcome those struggles or what they mean, that's where there tends to be a large gap in self-awareness. Now, let's get back to the point of this episode. In this episode, I'm going to review the differences between insecurities and anxiety and how they manifest or show up in your life, and how understanding the difference between the two of them can actually help you address them much more effectively. Insecurities involve feelings of inadequacy, of self-doubt, of uncertainty about yourself. And so this is often tied to specific areas. This could be how you look, your appearance, how much you matter, your abilities, whether or not you feel capable, your relationships, how likable you feel, how lovable you feel, and the list goes on and on. But those are some big categories. Whereas anxiety tends to be characterized by excessive worry, fear, or unease about usually future events or situations that have not happened yet, all of the what ifs. And so it tends to be a broader emotional state that can be persistent and can be overwhelming. And if you're new here, you know that I struggled with daily anxiety. I worried about all the things all the time, and that's not true for me anymore. And I want to be super clear before I continue. You know from what I just said, but I'll reiterate, you are not stuck in either of these experiences. If you find yourself saying, I'm an insecure person, or I'm just an anxious person, you are in the right place. You don't have to stay stuck. Now, I'm not going to say that you'll heal and check that box and you'll never feel insecure about something ever again, or you'll never feel anxious ever again. No, but it's not going to rock you like it did in the past, and it will happen far less frequently than it is happening right now. So let's dive into some key differences between insecurities and anxiety. I want to talk about the focus, the triggers, and the duration or the impact. Now, if you think about focus, insecurity centers on how you perceive yourself. And so they tend to be internal self-doubts. Anxiety focuses on perceived external threats or uncertain futures. Triggers for insecurity often are specific situations that challenge somebody's self-worth or that challenge their self-efficacy. And self-efficacy is the belief in yourself that you are able to succeed or accomplish a task, for instance. Or it might be triggered just by your believed lovability. Anxiety, on the other hand, can be triggered by a wide range of situations, including those that are ambiguous or uncertain. Again, all of the what ifs. And you're probably here because you are most certainly feeling anxious and you know that already. Now, with an insecurity, it can be persistent, but it also tends to fluctuate based on specific situations and specific experiences, whereas anxiety can, it's not always, but it can be chronic and it may interfere with your daily functioning. Of course, you may also identify as having high functioning anxiety, and that's fine. That resonates with me. And that's a lot of women here listening to the podcast, but it probably is chronic nonetheless. Now, insecurities and anxiety tend to, I'll say, play together or feed off of each other. So, for instance, persistent insecurities can actually result in you feeling more sensitive to those perceived threats that I mentioned, which can lead to increased anxiety. And then on the flip side, chronic anxiety can wear away at your self-confidence and reinforce feelings of insecurity. Now, as I mentioned at the beginning of the episode, awareness is super important. So here's what I want you to do with this information. Over the next couple weeks, I just want you to slow down. In this day and age, we are moving at such a fast pace. Slow down and get really curious. Right now, you don't even necessarily have to be compassionate towards yourself, but just get really curious. Like a child gets curious when they're outside on a walk and they see a flower and they want to stop, and they see a rock on the ground and they want to stop. Just let the part of you that likes to explore come out. Get curious, witness yourself so that you can deepen your self-awareness even more. And to pick up on your insecurities, here's some things that I want you to be thinking about. Start witnessing yourself more. In what ways do you criticize yourself? In what ways do you put yourself down? Where in your life do you feel inadequate? Where do you seek validation or praise from others? And what have you been avoiding due to fear of failure? When it comes to anxiety, where in your life do you feel restless or irritable? What situations do you catch yourself where you're replaying something in your mind, maybe something that already happened or something that is about to happen? What keeps you up at night? In what areas do you have difficulty concentrating? And what physical symptoms like increased heart rate, a twist in the gut, shortness of breath do you experience? Pay attention to yourself, witness yourself, document these things, because the more self-aware that you are, the easier you're going to be able to heal, because you'll know what needs to be healed. And if you'd like more support in overcoming your insecurities and anxiety, then DM me on Instagram or on Facebook with the word Academy. I'm going to guide you through the exact steps that you need to overcome both. That's something that I love about Brave Academy, is that we're not just overcoming anxiety, we are also overcoming those insecurities so that you can live life to the fullest. And that's all for today. I can't wait to see you next week on our 100th episode.